Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Let's see who's here first. Fancy, fancy. Thank you so much for being here first. Let's see who's here last. Anyway, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Okay. Um. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get on with it. Uh. Oh yeah, that monster. Yep. Okay. Anyway, let's see here. So, Prince Harry is heading to Las Vegas. Um, yeah, Prince Harry is heading to Las Vegas, and it has to do with his mom. Yeah, has to do with his mom. But you know what? I need to make sure that I can see what you all are seeing. Oh, I'm so glad I looked at that. That could have been awkward. Yeah. That could have been very awkward. Okay, let me open up another screen. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Got another screen open. Oh. Okay. All right, that's an easy fix. Um, oh, that's what I need to do is turn it down. That's it. I'm like, okay, what did I mean to do? Okay, you're good there. And don't need you or you. Well, you can go too. Did Meghan post anything today? Let me see. I want to check Meghan's Instagram. That's the one thing that I didn't do. I didn't check Meghan's Instagram. See if there's anything that was posted by the Duchess of Sussex. No. Okay, nothing from the Duchess today. Okay. All right, nothing on either account. The As Ever account has 826 followers, and the Meghan account that is still holding at, oh gosh, is it 2.8 million? Yeah, Meghan has 2.8 million followers. Oh, and by the way, you guys, the YouTube video that was posted by, oh, let me get this right. What is her name? The YouTube video that was posted by, why am I trying to say her name is Aaron? And I know it's not Aaron. Kern Lima. What is her first name? Anyway, the one that was posted by her. Remember, I was telling you that how many comments there were? Well, apparently there is the video. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Just to give you the up-to-date number. Let me see. Okay, so the video has 233,000 views, and it has 10,968 comments. I repeat, 10,968. Oh, Jamie, that's right. Thank you so much. 10,968 comments. It was 5,000 the other day, which is unusual. That was highly unusual because most videos she posts do not receive that many comments. However, this one has over almost 11,000 comments. 11,000 comments. And if you go to her account, the Jamie Kern Lima show, and you go to videos, right? And then you go to popular. So before Meghan's, the most popular interview she had was Oprah Winfrey, right? And that's two parts, and each part, I think, is about 150,000 views. But for one single video, her most viewed video is Life-Changing Commencement Speech. That was her highest video so far, the most views, 1.7 million. The Meghan video is next with 233,000. Now, for the 1.7 million, how many comments did she get? 199. No, 199. And that's for 1.7 million views. Okay. And with Meghan, I just told you. Okay. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. And you know, most of the people didn't even really view the video. They didn't even view it. Or should I say, they probably didn't view it before they commented. But I'm willing to bet a lot of people didn't even view it. Wow. Okay, let me stop looking at these comments because you kind of get lost. My God. Oh. It's pitiful. Pitiful. Okay, let me get back to Harry. Didn't mean to go that direction right there, but anyway. Prince Harry's going to Las Vegas. And according to the People magazine, it says, there we go. Prince Harry is heading to Las Vegas for a special event tied to his late mother, Princess Diana. Harry is paying tribute to his mother's legacy by celebrating the change makers of tomorrow. The Duke of Sussex is set to travel to Las Vegas on May the 6th, where he'll take part in a conversation hosted by Dr. Tessa Ojo, the CEO of the Diana Awards, the only charity that bears the name of Princess Diana. The event, part of the AI platform for business transformation, ServiceNow Knowledge, ServiceNow Knowledge 2025 conference will launch the Diana Award Pledge to Invest initiative, which celebrates future leaders and helps inspire forward-thinking businesses to support their mission. Let me see. Dr. Ojo will chair the conversation with Prince Harry. Oh, this is going to be like a little sit-down conversation. President of Global Custom Operation and Service Now, Pal is it Paul Phipps, and two young recipients of the organization's Legacy Award, Sekanda Sunny Khan and Christina Williams. Khan worked in artificial intelligence at Microsoft and also, anyway, you get the point. Dr. Khan, Khan. And I see her. Now, as you all know, that is going to be Archie's birthday. That's Archie's birthday. So, of course, this is what, 2 years since the coronation, or as some people would say, the condonation. But yeah, so 2 years after Archie's birthday. So, of course, the tabloids are beating this slow drum of, oh, Harry's gonna miss Archie's birthday again, blah, 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 blah. I mean, listen, I once heard that at altitude, a commercial airliner, let's say a 747, if it lost power, a 747 could possibly glide the distance between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Now, I don't know how true that is. On 40,000 feet, some planes drop like a stone. I don't know. But I heard that one time that a commercial airliner could possibly glide the distance. So what am I saying? I don't see any reason why Harry cannot celebrate Archie's birthday either that morning or maybe later that evening. I mean, what time does this function take place? But in order, I guess the whole point of it is to start the I don't even know why they would even bother with that. I mean, they didn't care about Archie's birthday being on coronation day. They were like, oh, just, suck it up, Buttercup. Just get on with it. But when it has nothing to do with the coronation, now they're going to make it sound like Harry doesn't have his priorities in order. The actor Patrick J. Adams said it best when he said that one of the things that happens when he's in an interview and Meghan's name come up is that he's writing tomorrow's headlines almost instantly as he's speaking in real time. In his mind, he's writing tomorrow's headlines. And as squatties, that's something all of us have become accustomed to, is that we tend to write the headlines for the tabloids because we just know. We know that they're shady and mean and surly, and we pretty much know exactly what their hook is going to be, what their angle is likely to be for any given circumstance. So in this case, let's set up the scene. Harry has an obligation. Is Archie's birthday. So cue the sad music. Cue the sad music. Come up with some archival footage of Prince Harry walking in slow motion, and then you turn it from like a Technicolor image, you turn it into like a grainy black and white image symbolizing the dark shadow that has fallen over Archie's birthday. It's too easy. It's too easy. I hate to say it, but they have kind of changed the way I think about things because having been exposed to the tabloid media in the way that I have, the way that we have, you just kind of know what the angle is even before they start writing the article. And that is pretty sad. I hope one day that all of us can forget about how terrible things were and we could just watch the Sussexes grow and flourish in their roles, see the kids off to school, that sort of thing, like anybody else, instead of the hate campaign. The only thing that would change this is if there was like a law enacted in the UK and even here, and that make it actually happen, you guys. That may actually happen, and people will challenge that law based on freedom of speech. But it is also a systematic attempt to destroy not just a person's character, but to prevent their future earnings, to destroy any career prospects. It is really meant to destroy a person from every aspect of life, to alienate them. That is the whole point of these hate campaigns. And of course, it makes money. It makes money. I think if you just look at it as the money part, yeah, that's one thing. Um, well, not just the money, but the right to free speech. But what it does to the character of people, that I think it creates cynicism and sarcasm, um, as almost like oxygen. It's like oxygen to some people to be very cynical or sarcastic about real life situations, to interject cruelness where one could, easily just say, oh, and let that story pass by. But instead, you send some ladies into space, a journalist, a musician, who else? A real a couple of scientists, I think, right? A former journalist turned, oh gosh, what is she? The fiance and also a pilot, a helicopter pilot, flight school or whatever, and then somebody else. And everybody had an opinion about it. How the money should have been spent. Why did they have to get all dialed up? Which that right there is hypocrisy, because every time there's a women's basketball game, there's always someone who's very critical about their appearance because they want them to go out there looking like cheerleaders instead of athletes, which, by the way, some cheerleaders are very athletic, but you understand what I'm saying. If they did not look all glamorous, that would have been an issue. Point is, you really just cannot win. So, but one of these days, I'm gonna just try to be optimistic and hope and pray one of these days that we can just enjoy life without everything turning into the Hunger Games, a media version of the Hunger Games. If we could just enjoy life. No fuss, no quarreling, no suspicions and conspiracy theories. Lex says, do the tabloids know geography? We right, we are in the US. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And just in case that was confusing, what I said about a plane gliding from, say, LA to Las Vegas, just basically saying that at altitude, right, if you cut the engines, that's a demonstration of how close it is. That you could possibly, I don't know what the distance those planes could glide. I don't know what the difference of the distance is from Las Vegas to LA, but I know people drive it all the time. You know what I'm saying? People drive it all the time. It's just not that far away. What is the distance between Las Vegas and Los Angeles? I'm sorry. What is the distance between Las Vegas and Los Angeles? Ah, well, what do you know? You can drive it in 4 hours and 6 minutes. It is 270 miles. That's it? You can drive it in 4 hours and 6 minutes. That's nonstop. 4 hours and 6 minutes. You can drive from LA. Now, I know the Sussexes live in Santa Barbara, but you get my point. You can drive it. Okay, let me satisfy one more curiosity while I'm saying, while I'm talking about this. At altitude, how long can a 747 glide without engines? Oh, okay. 93 miles. It says 93 miles. Okay, so not so close. A 747 glides a significant distance without engine power with glide ratio of approximately 15 to 1. This means for every 15 miles it glides forward and it descends 1 mile. The exact gliding distance depends on altitude, airspeed, and other factors. For example, at cruising altitude 33,000 feet or 10,000 meters, a 747 could theoretically glide for about 93 miles or 150 kilometers. See there? About 93 miles. And that's depending on what's going on. I don't know. Maybe they could make it. Maybe they could make it. Nah, they wouldn't make it. Not 270 miles. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, Legs, for the super chat. But now we know 4 hours away. Oh, you're right about that. Heather Stroud, thank you so much for being here. Okay. Oh, great. That's a great point. Most people I know, and even my children, if the birthday of the child falls in a weekday, celebrations are done over the weekend. What's their problem? Right. And Archie's birthday, coronation day, that was a Saturday, wasn't it? That was a Saturday for Charles' coronation. I don't think it was a weekday. So, yeah, you make an excellent point. Thank you so much, Ruth C. Okay. Hello, Sherry Ware. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let me go on here. So we have a sound bite, and you all remember Erica underscore Christine 15. You guys, she is another content creator that I absolutely adore. I absolutely adore. Now, sometimes I have to, I want to share, but when she is, let's say, when she has been triggered by their by some of the things going on, she, I few f bombs here and there is what I'm trying to say. Strategically placed and definitely well deserved. But yeah, sometimes I want to share her, but when she's upset, then that can be very difficult. Really, why am I getting this today? Okay, let me set this up for you. It has to do with Dr. Okay, I can't call her a doctor because she's not really a doctor, right? Because someone just said that Meghan shouldn't use HRH, even though Meghan really is an HRH. But you know what I mean? So let me get that set up, and then we will talk about it on the other side.
Hey everyone, this is an excuse for me to get the hell out of there because my eardrums are about to pop. We're wrapping up a set right now, but one of you, and thank you for sharing this because I fell off a bit with Sentebale. Like I said, I was waiting for the UK Charity Commission to come up with their findings and mediate about what needs to happen next as far as Sophie Shanadako as well as the board members who exist, what their stance is with this organization. And here's what I found out. We're going to do this from a UK standpoint, not an American. In the UK, you cannot run a charity with 2 board members. And it looks like that's all Sophie has left. There's another woman, I don't know her name, so I won't butcher it. And then there's the Rollison guy who are just sitting there looking stupid under her smug face. And you have to ask yourself, is she embarrassed? No, she's not embarrassed because I think there's a bigger game being played here, and maybe everybody involved know what that is. But a lot of people who are generally concerned about this charity just want answers fast. And the UK Charity Commission is telling the public that this won't be wrapped up until at least the end of the summer. It was only a matter of time before the board started dipping, and it has nothing to do with media harassment because remember, this is Sophie who brought the media attention, unwarranted by the way, to this charity. Without Harry, without all the glitz and glam, what are they sitting there for? And board members have other jobs. Like, this is not their bread and butter like most people say they are. I sat on a board one time, and it was just something to do that looked good on a resume and helped me build my connection point, but it wasn't anything that I was trying to take to the bank. So this is no different from them. So once they found out, oh crap, we can't hold trophies anymore. We can't rub elbows with Prince Harry at nice fine dinners. And we can't get into places that we used to get into by using his name. What's the point? But the most nefarious thing of all about this happening is once again, the children are suffering. Lesotho is suffering. And I'm talking about those who benefited from Sentebale. They are suffering because of this. And rumor has it that as of today, they are doing massive firings of people who work at Sentebale because they just can't afford to pay them. I knew this was going to happen. I'm just like, how are these people getting paid? There's nothing to do. And the money is frozen. So what's the worst case scenario, guys? Well, let's investigate that. The worst case scenario that happens is UKB, the jerks that they are, not the people, but every organization there is, and they say Sophie did nothing wrong and she's allowed to sit on the board. Now she could just rehire a new board. They can do the vetting process. Ian is her advisor. He comes in, or she dips, hands it over to Ian. Ian brings in his insane clown posse, and Sentebale becomes yet another environmental scam. And although I don't like talking about these people, it seems to me that Harry's brother is becoming more unhinged by the minute. And I'm putting unhinged in quotations marks because I'm being modest, by the way. I think he's way crazier than that. He's just going to put his merry men who attack Meghan and attack Harry and the kids, he's just going to put them in those spots and they're just basically going to swallow it whole. Why? Because Sentebale was looking too nice. It photographed too nice. It printed too nice, and they can't have that. So this is one of those things where it's like, if we could take this away from him, he has nothing else. And that's not necessarily true. If this is all about keeping them at bay so they can't put on nice gowns or dresses and ties and everything, and he can't look hot on a polo field, Harry can do that anytime he wants to, okay? It's just that he prefers to do it for a good cause, which is why he connected it to Sentebale. My heart goes out to the people, and I will say this is nothing that I just organically looked into myself. The people of Lesotho, the elders, as well as a lot of the Sussex squad have been doing way more research and their due diligence than I have. So give credit where it's due. Shout out to you guys. You all got real skin in this as you've been donating heavily to this organization. And so I understand the passion behind just hoping that it gets resolved and gets right back into the hands of someone more capable. I hate that this happened, but I promise you, no matter what the outcome is, understand that Harry and Cieso have a plan. Don't think that they're just sitting back waiting for the UK Commission to just, be in their honor. No, they have a plan B and maybe even a plan C, and we'll find that out in due time if it is for us to know. Anyway, let me get back in here. They're going to start calling me. You guys have a great one. Bye.
Thank you, Erica. That is Erica Christine, Erica _ Christine 15, and she's on TikTok. And yeah, she always strikes the right note, even if I have to bleep it sometime. Let's see. Lex says, was a 5-hour drive from San Diego to Las Vegas when I lived in California. Okay, thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah, so, and sometimes when I drive out of town, that's exactly how long it takes me to go on my little road trip every so often. About the same distance, and about actually no, the distance is not as far, but takes a little longer because I don't know. I guess it's because I'm not really at speed at certain points. But it seems like it. Well, you know what? I think I have been able. What is it? About 240 miles. Yeah, my trip is about 240 miles, and I can do it in 3.5 hours, but if there's any traffic or whatever, it's usually 4. And if I keep stopping, it's going to be about 4.5 to 5. I've taken up to 5, almost 6 hours sometimes. Alex says, no one has talked about her leaving the BBBA in debt in 2023. Then she forced her way into Sentebale the same year she paid consultants. Yeah, and hopefully that will come out at some point. But as we all know, we can't depend on the tabloid media to do. I mean, because it's so much material there. If they wanted to drag Sophie, there is so much material there, and it would make for some very juicy, salacious talking points and everything. But they don't mean to drag her. She's not the target. Harry is the target. So Harry's long-standing connection as a founder of Sentebale, that is the target. They want to try to ruin that if at all possible. I don't know exactly what is to be done about it, but I'm gonna take Erica's advice and just wait and see. Surely Harry and say so. Surely they have something, a plan. They surely have some kind of plan, but what it could possibly be, I don't know. Maybe it would take a trip to court to straighten this out. It's unfortunate that it has to be that way. And I'm so disappointed with Sophie because, like so many other people, I heard someone else say that I was glad to see her in that position. And because let's face it, you guys, and I'm going to be very honest when I say this, I've heard people say, oh, they should have more of us. They should have more Black people doing this and doing that. There are some squatties that are doing a head count to see who's working with the Sussexes. And so for that reason, we were very glad to see Sophie in this very trusted, important, vital position. And like my mama used to say, all you're doing is making it bad for the next person and the next person and the next person. Not necessarily to do with the Sussexes, but there's a lot of people that love to see certain people fail. So they can say, see there, see there. And while it shouldn't be any individual race or religion or, you know, it shouldn't be anybody's responsibility to represent everybody for that group. But in this very volatile era we're in right now, it is certainly not helpful. It is not very helpful. Now is the worst time to draw that kind of negative attention. But thank you so much, Legs. Oh, one more. Let me see. Some consultant had tied. Yes. The let's see. It was it both of those women, or was it one of the women? I believe one of the women from what was the name of her company? The anyway, I want to say that those two women kept popping up on the radar every place Sophie goes. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but it seems like one or both of those ladies pops up on the radar wherever Sophie goes, wherever she plants the seed of destruction, wherever she throws her wooden shoe into the gear. It seems like one or both of those ladies are, at reach. I believe so. But look, I would go and check it out, but they took everything off the internet. They pulled a news of the world and started deleting everything. But thank you, Legs, and thank you for being a member. Connie Bomber, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here. Oh, something was misspelled. Not that I would ever notice. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying here. Yeah, you know what? For some reason, that's how it read to me. Yeah, I knew who you meant. Sorry about that. So yeah, Sophie, you've done it, girl. You've done it. Okay. It just breaks my heart though. It really does. I I'm very excited to see certain people in certain spaces um doing things that I guess either statistically is not usually uh, the case, or maybe visually. We always assume that, oh, if we make this phone call, there's that person on the other end of the line or whatever. Um, I like to see integration. Integration is a good thing. I like to see people in spaces where it doesn't seem like they belong, right? No matter what their race is. Um, and of course, in the world of charities and such, especially a charity that's registered in the UK, she is British. She's working for a charity registered in the UK. And all right, it's a charity that helps Black people, helps Africans. So it just seems like, wow, how great is it that she's in that role? All kin folks ain't skin folks, or is it all skin folks ain't kin folks? Anyway, I'm just disappointed. I'm so sorry. I keep saying that, but I am. I'm so disappointed. I'm just like, oh, look at her. Look at what she's doing. And now it's like, oh, look at her. Look at what she done. And that the impact of this Oh, how long until the other woman trustee leaves? Let me see who's left. Well, you know what? The more she stays, the worse it looks. We know why Ian's there, but the fact that this other lady is still there does not look good for her. If she had any sense, she get out of there before that taint ends up getting into her, you know, space as well, right? It's like being in a room full of smokers. Um, don't be surprised when you walk out and you find out people think you smell like an ashtray. So if I was her, I say, girl, you better run. You better run before you get Sophie and Ian all over you. But thank you again, Legs. But how long will it be? How long will it take before they head for the hills? And Ian, well, of course, it seems like he's sticking around because he's owed money. It seems like he's sticking around until he gets that money. Let me see. First one dipped after 6 days. We didn't find out until 2 weeks. The next one we found out 2 weeks later. Oh, I see your point. So she may have already made her intentions known. She already has sent the letter. This is sad though, you guys. This charity. I still think about Sophie's words when she was on, what was it, ITV? The way she's carefully worded everything to make it sound as horrific as possible. Harry and Prince Harry and Princess so thought themselves well placed or well suited to answer the urgent call for whatever HIV, AIDS, such and such. And so almost in an instant, she turned it from that was then to this is now. AIDS is no longer a death sentence, even though statistically it is still the most likely cause of death for the people that the charity, the countries where that the charity serves. It is the leading cause of death. And of course, part of the charity's work is to prevent infection in the first place by giving out information that's needed so that people can protect their partners, so that if a woman is pregnant, she can protect her child. There's so many things that still is important. And Sophie, I don't care how she says it started, she is at the root of this. Is Sophie. Sophie, as Lady Sussex would say, that woman, that woman is at the root of this. I am so disappointed in her. So disappointed. It's just grotesque. It's just the most offensive thing, knowing that this woman who beats the drum about her pride in Africa and how she wants to decolonize this charity. But just like in colonial times, it's not the white colonizer that is the worst enemy. It's your own kind. And for the people in Sentebale, it's their own kind. One of us is the worst enemy. One of us used 600,000 pounds of money that was earmarked for the community, use that money for consultants. Use that money for consultants. That money could have been used to build an orphanage or two. That money could have done so much for so many people. And this pseudo doctor with her honorary degree, the clout chaser, she who was hoping to lean on Harry's celebrity, is the reason why the money is not available. And according to Erica, Christine, there's no work. The money is tied up. And let me just say this: having this charity registered in very civil England, right? Isn't that what we're led to believe? That we should be able to believe the press because we all know how civilized the British are. We should believe in the work of this charity because we know how civilized the British are, right? Everything is better if it's done in Europe, as opposed to having something organized and carried out in Africa. That's the what do you call it? That's the reputation, right? So here we have this proud African woman who wants to decolonize. She wants to get the white folks out of there, send them back to England, move the charity to the US, or whatever it was she was planning to do. And she's the reason why the charity no longer functions. Because of these high-minded, grand ideas that she had, where she was going to take a charity that was established in the memory of not one but two princesses. By not one but two princes, she wants to take this charity and use it to respond to things like Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, and to help people build wealth. Because the urgent need to be, and for some reason, not always, the people that are there to tell you this is how you build wealth are the ones that's taking your money. I shiver to think what she had in mind, what the ultimate goal was. Somehow I think if she opened up a church and became a mega pastor, I think she'd excel at that. She got all the language. She knows how to stir up things. I am so disappointed with her. Anybody who looks like me or look like the men or women in my life, I am particularly bothered when they fall short. Even if they look like Jerry Butler. Even if they don't look like me, if they look like Jerry Butler, I'm still disappointed. I'm sorry, I had to throw that one in there. I'm still disappointed. Even if she looks like Jerry Butler, I'm disappointed. This just makes me sad. It really makes me sad. And then the fact that she would target Meghan because she knew that would draw a certain response and get the attention off of that £600,000 that was used for consultants. She did everything she could to make it Meghan's fault. Oh, happy birthday, Shirley Holland's granddaughter. Happy birthday. Let me see, no offense, but when I found out she uses doctor and is an honorary doctor, she looked cheap to me. No one uses an honorary doctor title. Schools that don't have doctorates can't give them. She's a poser. What is she? A poser. And who does she look like? Jerry Butler, also known as the Iceman. But anyway, let me stay serious here. I am just devastated by this. I mean, I'm thinking about the people, the children that are affected. And every day that there's a lack of information, a lack of services, that's going to shorten someone's lifespan. That is going to inhibit someone's dreams. And who do we have to blame for it? Pseudo Dr. Sophie, Dr. Pseudo. Yeah, Dr. Pseudo Chandaku. One of the things that we learned is that it appears that wherever she go, in her wake is a bunch of confusion, if not outright destruction. Does anybody think that Harry started that charity almost 20 years ago, would have thought that someone that looks like her would be the cause of it to collapse? I mean, she claims that, she's like the people that are being served. I'm one of them, even though she hasn't lived there for God knows how long. What, since childhood? So when she makes her grand return, how does she return to the community? As a source of destruction, embarrassment. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I've been feeling like this for a while, and I just have not had a chance to express my dismay. But I'm just so disappointed with her. It really hurts. I'm not hurt for Harry as much as I'm hurt for the people served by the charity, by the community. Shouldn't be able to do that. This is why I have a problem with a lot of these mega churches and such. So much money goes to enhance the life of a handful of people, but not enough of the money goes to the community. I find Warren Buffett more pious than most people that run charities and mega churches. Warren Buffett has vowed to donate his money to charity. He drives an old Cadillac or whatever it is. Has lived in the same house for 40, 50 years. And I'm not saying he's a saint, but he is not known to be one to live as extravagantly as, say, the Sultan of Brunei. What little money they had, Sophie takes £600,000 and spends it on consultants. And I'm pretty sure she was banking on the idea that there was going to be some big windfall and that Harry was going to establish that windfall so that she can look as though she's very successful, and that will help her make a case to draw a salary of, what was it, £300,000 a year? Is that what they said she was asking for? Because this is not a salaried position. There's no salary for her. She doesn't have a salary, but she has access to the funds. It's a sign of respect, but I don't tell most people to call me. What is that? But I tell most people to call me by my name. However, I put my time in to get my PhD. It was 5 long years. And congratulations. We are so proud of you. We're so proud of you for doing that work, for doing something extraordinary, really. But I think it's true what you say. A lot of people who have the credentials, they most often don't like for people to know about it, don't want to make a big fuss about it. Anyway, let me get Miss Butler off the screen. Oh, good God, I'm so disappointed with her. Meghan's still using HRH titles. This story just won't die. Okay, initially, you guys, I promise you, there's a lot of times I don't talk about stuff the first day it happens because I don't want to lend anything to the news cycle. I don't want to help a story to grow. And then there's always the judgment call of, is it better to say nothing about it? Should we just ignore it? And everyone has an idea of what should be brought up, and should we push back? Should we say nothing? Should we show this or not show that? It's a judgment call. And sometimes it's just really based on how it feels. And I can only imagine that they don't want Meghan to use those titles, to use her title, because they're trying to shrink her presence, right? They want her to appear as though she's Dr. Sophie. But the thing is, Meghan is married to a prince, and that comes with the title. And you all know I have always been for the titles. I don't want Harry to sacrifice another thing in life unless it's something he wants to do. I don't want him to feel pressured into making himself smaller. I don't want Meghan to feel pressured to make herself smaller. Those children will always be a part of that family. and they should be afforded whatever respect, whatever protection, whatever benefit comes from being a member of the British royal family. Now, right now, I don't know if there's any particular benefit for them, but if there is, I want them to have everything that they deserve, everything that they want until they are of age to decide, for themselves. Because from what we're seeing right now, especially given the history of, let's say, I always think of John Jr., John F. Kennedy Jr., President Kennedy's son. That kid lived a life more like Harry than I think most people realize. He was always good for press. And one of the reasons why is because he was just so damn attractive. You notice they don't hunt his sister down. They don't really care. I mean, let's just be honest and say she's too average. She's not very exciting to report. She doesn't really do anything interesting. They only report on his sister on occasion. But John F. Kennedy Jr., I mean, this guy looked like he, stepped out of a romantic comedy. He looked like an underwear model. So they would never let him just be a part of the whole of society. He was always a prince. In all but title, he didn't have an official title, but the Kennedys have long been considered American royalty, and the crown prince, the most eligible bachelor for years, was John Kennedy. It was so normal for him to be shadowed by the paparazzi that he had a pretty thick skin. He could almost ignore them. There was one photographer who said, paparazzi, who said that his camera lens dropped. And I think it's on video. It may even be on video. And without a word, he just bends down and picks it up and hands it to him so that this guy can get back to work, making money from his image. Because it became normal for him. Now, one of the reasons why it could not be normal for Harry in any kind of way is because, let's face it, it's not normal, even for someone born into that. The other thing is they played on Harry's anger. It wasn't enough what happened to his mother. Then they went after him. And when these paparazzis, like sharks, when they smell blood in the water, they go into a feeding frenzy. And they will call you names. They will ask you inappropriate questions. They will do anything that they can to draw a reaction. They will say anything that they can to draw a reaction. They will block you so that you can't get past. All of those things. Now, for the most part, the U.S. paparazzi has been relatively tamed and polite in comparison. They really have. They really have. Most of the interactions that I've seen, they have been very polite to the Sussexes. However, Anita of My Duke and I believe she said she was almost ill from listening to the terrible things that they were saying. And I don't think she ever really, I think she said she was going to talk about it at some point, and I don't think she ever did because it was probably just too much to discuss. Too hurtful. But she said the things that they were saying to one another was pretty terrible. There was a reason why Princess Diana would cry, because she felt vulnerable. Having someone, call you a whore and worse, and pushing their cameras in your face, chasing you to your car. She didn't deserve that. What would give them the idea that that was okay? Where would they get the idea that the mother of the future king should be treated that way? Did they come up with that on their own? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it came from Clarence House and Buckingham Palace. I don't suspect it came from her. But we all know these two. We all know how they operate. We all know that you could almost draw a direct line from a lunch with the likes of them and then the article that's in the paper the next day. That happens a lot. Why should Meghan not use hers when Princess Michael of Kent uses her HRH on books she is selling? Racism, it is a non-story because it wasn't recent. Pathetic. Amen. We're gonna actually I got an article about that from Feminagra that's coming up. So okay, why not? I'm gonna go ahead and play this one. I'm gonna go ahead and play this one, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
For a long time, actually.
No, exactly. Sorry, if you might, that's Her Royal Highness, if you don't mind.
So this is because she put a podcast mic.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not really. What happened?
We haven't talked about it for a long time, actually.
No, exactly. Sorry, if you might, that's Her Royal Highness, if you don't mind.
So this is because she appeared on a podcast mic.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not really. What happened is, by mistake, somebody took a picture of the card which was accompanying some of the products that she's selling from this business she's running, okay? And the card just happened to entitle her as HRH Duchess of Sussex. Our late, great departed Queen had made it clear she must...
Now, just so you know, that is not true. Those were not products that she was selling. See how easily they can lie about this stuff? It was ice cream and some strawberry spread, which, of course, some people like to put on ice cream.
Use that title.
100%. 100%.
But nevertheless, so what you've got here is a 50-50 split, where Meghan Markle seeks to make vast amounts of money by accompanying her husband, Prince Harry, in absolutely pulling the royal family to pieces, criticising them at every turn, making horrible allegations about them, and doing everything to try and destroy the royal family, whilst on the other half of the equation, she is desperate to remain a member of that illustrious family because A, it's the most famous in the world, and B, it's the only thing now which can make her recognisable around the globe.
Well, the real problem here is she's dancing on the grave of the British monarchy and she's trying to flog the video at the same time.
Well, very well put.
Yeah, she's also selling these ridiculous overpriced sort of $50 jars of honey and God knows. I'm sorry, it's outrageous. I mean, I think Mike's, and this is the one time this year where I would agree with this man.
Yes.
You can't, on the one hand, trash the brand, and on the other hand, squeeze every dollar out of it.
That's right. But
3 old white men and the what do you call it? The clout chaser. They are the ones that are standing in judgment of a black woman from America. I just want to point that out.
I read one report which was analysing all this, saying that they've come to the sudden conclusion that the only relevance they now have, I'm talking about Meghan and Harry, is in fact their connection to the British royal family, which they've publicly tried to say we disassociate ourselves, whilst at the same time grabbing every possible benefit that comes with marrying into the most famous family in the world.
She's clinging like a leech to the flesh of the family's fame.
You see, that's
Let's
great.
just try and let's just for a moment risk drowning in the milk of human kindness here. Give her the benefit of the doubt.
Bring in the air.
Because there is a possibility that she sent this card to this podcaster before the death of the Queen, possibly before she was told. We don't know that.
The Queen's been dead for 2 years.
I know that, but she's always been sending out these little cards.
There's a marvelous expression.
This is her new product.
No, it's not. It isn't. It hasn't got the as ever branding on it. It could be. It says with the compliments of HRH, the Duchess of Sussex. We don't know when the photo was taken. I'm just looking for evidence here, gentlemen.
And it's 2 tubs of ice cream.
When they moved to the United States, she was told explicitly, "You're no longer
100%.
Exactly.
You're no longer HRH.
Yeah,
You can keep title Duchess of Sussex, but you don't use HRH."
She might have a not very intelligent American PA who sent it out on her behalf and not her.
But
She signed it. That's her handwriting.
Sorry,
even if
there's a marvelous expression.
Trying.
You know
trying very hard.
the expression in Italian, Brazilian ben trovato, which says it may not be true, but it sounds as though it should be.
Well, you know what?
She's been caught back to rights, I'm afraid.
You know, and that's interesting. I haven't used those words, but how many times have I said that one of the tactics that they use is that they will say things that are not true, but they seem like they could be. Like, for instance, Meghan Googled Harry when they first started dating. It sounds like something that could be true, but it, as far as I was concerned, I didn't believe it. Meghan said that she did not Google him. And you had people say, well, I Google the plumber. When the plumber comes over, I Google that person's name. Not everybody does that. Not everybody does that. And especially when it comes to dating, do you go to Google or do you go to social media? I don't care how famous the person is. Would you go to Google or would you go to their social media? When I want to know more about a coworker, I look for them on Facebook. I don't Google them. And especially considering the fact that Meghan has been around entertainment her entire life, who else would know better that what's being said in the press is not necessarily related to that person? So what are you going to Google? But it sounds as though it was true, and most people just believe the credibility of it. So interesting what the old geezer said on the end there, because I've been trying to push that for the longest, is that they love to say things that seem like it could be true, but in reality, it's just a dog whistle. It's just a dog whistle. It's just a way to muddy someone's personality, to try to put a certain taint or doubt upon that person. So interesting way he put that. All right. So let me continue here. You may remember, if you guys have listened to the podcast, Jamie said that there was an occasion where her mother asked her, "Are you okay? What happened?" And she's like, What do you mean, what happened? Oh, by the way, thank you, Legs. Well, is everything okay with you and Meghan? Well, apparently there was supposed to have been some kind of falling out with Jamie and Meghan. And of course, they had the time of their lives. They absolutely did not understand what that was about. But yet they, put that out there. And so I don't remember anything about that. I didn't see anything about that. But some people said that they could remember that. And so right here, pay up. Meghan shocked as Jamie Kern Lima demands payment for private jet to, I guess they're saying private jet to the East Coast or whatever. And then right here, not friend anymore. Well, there's some poor grammar for you. Not friends anymore. Jamie Kern Lima confronts Meghan over it cosmetic sales drop over its well, anyway, again, bad grammar. So I'm starting to get a vision of who this YouTube channel belongs to. But it's a YouTube channel. And the person or persons who run this channel, English is not their first language, I believe. So that explains the bad grammar or poor grammar. However, I don't even remember this being a story. Not at all. I don't know how I missed that, but I don't remember. But I guess somebody must have started it. I think it was from an article, because this channel uses the AI voice. It's not a real person talking. It's an AI voice. That's what they're using for this channel. Which also makes me kind of suspicious, because I'm like, God, what if this is one of those AI Sussex friendly channel people that also have an AI Sussex hater channel? You know what I'm saying here? Because there's some Sussex friendly channels that uses the AI voice, right? Now, I can't stand that nonsense, but some people, like it. But the same way they're running a channel that is pro-Sussex, if you got several channels, I don't understand why you wouldn't have one that was anti-Sussex. I'm just putting that out there. Be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? Be very interesting to find out. Wonder which Sussex-friendly channel would do something like that. Well, let's take a break from all that terrible stuff. Misan Harriman received his as ever raspberry spread. Okay. This is the second person based in the UK that I know of that has received an as ever. First there was Alex Beresford, and now Misan Harriman. I wonder who's next. Hopefully they gave Brioni Gordon another jar, because remember, she kind of left hers in the back of a taxi, suffering from jet lag. She was very tired and left it sitting on the seat. So I hope she gets another jar. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, me too. He well deserves it. Someone had a comment, and I meant to look at it, and I think I went right past it. I do apologize for that. I was supposed to acknowledge it, and I went past it, and now I don't know where it is. Okay, sorry. I'm going to have to pass on that one then. Oh, Sir Elton John? Really? Well, I'm glad to know that. Okay. Yes, I'm very glad to know that. So they must be making rounds over there. That is cool. Let me see. I'm going to search as ever and see if I can find anything. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything recent, but I'm just, I mean, well, should I say I'm not seeing anything that I haven't seen already? Oh, I never saw that one before. Oh, I got to save this one. I got to save that picture right there. I like that one. Brian Tyree. Oh, Brian Tyree confirms that Duchess Meghan sent him an as ever gift box. Do you guys remember that? The guy that said that he was obsessed with the flower spread, flower sprinkles or edible flowers? Brian Tyree. He has received his as ever. Okay. Let me see who else. Huh. Okay. Well, I wonder who's the video where they got the guy with the white gloves doing the delivery. I wonder whose house that was. Was it Elton John? Okay, you guys, I'm done looking. Let me get back over here with you all. I tried Meghan Markle's raspberry spread, and I totally get why it's sold out within an hour. This is a new article, actually. It's from a online called The Kitchen. Okay. I tell you what, I'll share that one with you tomorrow. Let me just go ahead and save this so that we can talk about it tomorrow, because I still got a few things I need to cover, and I'm getting a little behind, a lot behind. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for telling me about Sir Elton John. Meghan Markle says she writes her children emails almost every night to read when they're older. This is another online magazine called Complex. And anyway, I'm not going to go through that article, but I just wanted to share with you that this story is still trending as of April 30th, now May the 1st. Oh my God, I have to pay rent. You guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but it is rent mortgage time. Did you all know that? It is rent and or mortgage time. So if you have a rental or a mortgage, it's time to cough up that money. God, where did the month go? I just about flipped out the chair. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's the 1st of May. So y'all know that means everybody expect to get paid. Well, as a very dear friend of mine once said, and I want to echo that sentiment, if I might.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay. It's time to pay.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You got to pay your rent.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Got to pay your car insurance.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Got to pay your electric bill.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Gas bill.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Water bill.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Mortgage.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Credit cards.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yes, ain't nobody got time for that. Wow, the 1st of the month kind of snuck up on me. Oh, thank you so much. Of course, I never say the name, but thank you, RS, for the PayPal. Now, you're totally welcome to sneak up on me anytime you want. How is it the 1st of the month? I am so shocked. I mean, I'm just sitting here minding my own business. Ain't bothering nobody. And next thing you know, it's the 1st of the month. Oh, well. What's that old saying? Y'all got to catch me first. Y'all got to catch me first.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right. Ain't nobody got time for that. No, the British monarchy can't take away Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal titles. Let's see here. Despite reports that Prince William plans to remove his brother and sister-in-law's titles when he becomes king, the British monarch's powers are on that matter is limited. Queen Elizabeth granted Harry and Meghan the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex on their, okay, we all know that. However, that has the possibility to change. In recent years, there have even been discussions about introducing legislation that would grant the monarch or a parliamentary committee the power to remove titles. The removal of title bill was proposed to provide such authority, but it has not been enacted into law. Yeah, if I was them, I would leave it alone. Now, Whoopi Goldberg refuses to discuss Meghan Markle on The View. Wake me up when you're done. You know what, guys? What's that? I have 4 spare rooms for you and the family if you can't pay. You know, I've always wanted to go to Switzerland. I already got a couple of Swiss knives. I have the picnic set And I have like, those are works of art, by the way. My Swiss knife set. Thank you very much, Connie Balmer. Nobody leaves this house until I have a chance to show off my Swiss knives. A work of art. Engineering and art meets. Okay, so it looks like somebody has gotten the message. It appears as though someone has gotten the message. The message is keep Harry and Meghan's name out your mouth. Keep their names out your mouth. Not mouth, TH, but mouth, FF, MOUFF. You know, it's serious when you spell it with two F's at the end. Keep Harry and Meghan's name out your mouth. Okay? Somebody has finally learned the lesson. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Same thing happened with Joan Collins. They finally realized it was time to keep Harry and Meghan's name out your mouth. Anyway, Meghan Markle puts Whoopi Goldberg to sleep. The Ghost actress 69 refused to engage in a Hot Topics discussion about the Duchess of Sussex on Wednesday's episode of The View. The conversation focused on Markle's sparking controversy for using her HRH title in a printed note to a pal, Jamie Kern-Lima, despite quitting her job as working royal alongside Prince Harry in 2020. It is a bad look for Meghan to still refer to herself as a royal. The EGOT winner asked her co-host, to which Sunny Hostin replied, no, it's not. Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Alison Farrar Griffin on The View. Goldberg cut Hostin 56 off and declared, wake me up when you're done. After the other co-hosts discussed the topic, Goldberg asked, can I ask a really dumb question? Probably better than anybody I know. Can I ask a really dumb question that I just woke up for? Are we that boring? Joy Behar jokingly asked Goldberg. So it's the subject matter, Goldberg responded. The Sister Act star said she thinks it's cringier that Lima exposed Meghan's note publicly. To me, I think if someone gives you a gift, I don't feel like she needed to show that. Whoopi, that was very insightful, Hostin told Goldberg, who replied, well, yeah, I'm old enough to be insightful. That's up for debate. Okay. Right. Source close to Markle told the Post that her use of the HRH title was not intended for a public purpose. Okay. Anyway, it ends with it's kind of like a doctor when you keep referring to them as Doc and they're like, call me Susan. I would never refer to myself as her HRH or Her Royal Highness Haynes 47 said. The View aired. Okay. Well, I'm going to say this about that. As far as I'm concerned, that is Meghan's title. Meghan is a royal. This is how royals respond to people, even their friends, right? if it's on stationery or whatever, and it was on stationery. It was a card, not a handwritten gesture. It was a card. It was in-house stationery. It's what they used to correspond. If I received a note from Meghan, even if I was her friend, I might be a little disappointed if I didn't get the official royal family, or not royal family, but that person's official stationery. Most people who receive letters from Meghan that have publicly acknowledged they received any kind of correspondence from Meghan, most of them say, what? I'm going to frame it. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to frame it. Now, this is Meghan's friend, right? We don't know when that, sorry about that. We don't know when that gift was sent out. We don't know. So it could have been 2 years ago. It could have been 3 years ago. But whatever the case is, it was Meghan's right to do that. Maybe they were still getting to know each other and wasn't exactly friends at the time. That could have been 4 years ago. We just don't know. I don't remember them saying that there was any time frame about when that was received. Plus, it's nobody's business. And what was that panel from GB News or whatever? They said on GB News that one person said it could have just been someone on staff. It could have been one of their staff members that sent that on Meghan's behalf. And as a staff person who's not familiar with the intimacy of friendship, I think it's right to use the stationery. We just don't know. It was not handwritten. It was not a handwritten note. But it was definitely on behalf of Meghan. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg is safe haven for a lot of people who otherwise seem to skirt racism. Yeah. And Spare, I do not remember the Queen telling Harry and Meghan not to use their titles. That all came from Charles and Willie. Jamie had that gift for over a year. Yeah. And if I recall, it wasn't hand signed by Meghan. In all likelihood, it was sent by someone on staff. There was no handwritten note with it. Meghan may not have even been in the country at that time. It wasn't like Meghan drove over there and just dropped it and left it on the doorstep. We don't know how that happened. But the Sussexes, they don't have a staff of 62 people in their household like Will and Kate, but they do have a staff. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the brand. Meghan at the time was probably still experimenting with making preserves. She's probably still experimenting with making preserves. Exactly. Why not talk about the times 100 instead of the HRH? Meghan Markle's use of her HRH title in personal gift raises questions. Here's the royal rule behind it. People understand that although Meghan and Harry do not use their HRH titles for public or commercial ventures, their formal titles remain. And in this case, the note from more than a year ago was part of a private personal gift, not a business move. Not a business move. So, yes, we know it's at least a year old, and it was something personal. And again, looking at the card, it is not signed. It is not a signed card. So it's not handwritten. Now, there may be something on the other side, but that is Meghan's stationery, and she is entitled to use it. Now, as promised, Meghan Sussex HRHU sparks media made controversy. So if you go, oh wait, not you, me. Where is that at? Oh my God, I got so many things open right now. Let me close down some of these windows I got open. Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, I can close all that. I don't need any of these. I'm gonna close this out. I think I got like maybe 25 windows open right now. Okay, don't need that. Okay, so the article from Feminagra. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, sparked. Okay, we know all that kind of stuff. Sandringham Summit, we know all that. The royal family broke that agreement and various others long before Meghan ever signed a gift card. Now, it continues. Oh, wow, those look good. Oh, those look good. Let me save that because I'm going to order that. Because of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, do you all know how many bags of peanut butter pretzels I have eaten since With Love Meghan premiered? Do you know how many bags of peanut butter pretzels I've eaten? I didn't even know I liked them that much until, well, anyway, let me continue here. So let's see, the so-called Sandringham Summit in January 2020 laid out initial terms of Harry and Meghan's exit. Okay, I don't need that. I want to get to Princess Michael of Kent. That's what I'm looking for. Rule for thee, but not for me. When Camilla married Charles in 2005, Clarence House assured the public she would be styled as Princess Consort. Once Charles became king, a nod to lingering sensitivities around Princess Diana, critics claim Meghan broke protocol by using HRH, a note reportedly, okay, I don't need that. Yeah, so, okay, I get what they're saying. So, a rule for thee, but not for me. Camilla, and I didn't think about that. How you like that one, Legs? Because that layers another thing here. Camilla was not supposed to use queen or queen consort. Now, they promised she would be princess consort. And then, after shaking down Queen Elizabeth and whatever agreement that was made, suddenly the queen said, okay, call her queen consort. That didn't stick either. Camilla went from Duchess of Cornwall straight to the queen, not princess consort, not queen consort, but just Queen. They said that on Coronation Day. They said, you know what? This whole idea of Queen Consort is kind of sloppy. We'll just call her the Queen. That was not supposed to happen either. Okay? Now, what was next here? Yeah, so yet by 2023, Charles declared her simply Queen by dropping consort entirely and ignoring Queen Elizabeth's earlier public guidance. At that point, the palace had clearly rewritten the rules. So why should Harry and Meghan be expected to uphold an agreement no one else seems interested in following? Now, other royals use HRH publicly, so why is Meghan the exception? Critics claim Meghan broke protocol by using HRH. On a note reportedly sent to podcaster host, Jamie Carlima, before the launch of her lifestyle brand As Ever, they argue the gesture violated the 2020 agreement made during the royal exit. But Meghan's team clarified she didn't use the title for commercial purposes, and no evidence suggests she intended it that way. The use appeared personal, not promotional. I like that. Personal, not promotional. Say it with me. Personal, not promotional. One more time. I think you got it. By Jove, I think you got it. It was personal, not promotional. There we go. End of. So, royal protocol may object to Meghan's use of HRH, but the title itself carries no legal restriction. Critics treat Meghan like a criminal while they ignore how blatantly other royals use the HRH title without consequence. Take Princess Michael of Kent. She's not a working royal. She receives no taxpayer funding and holds no official duties. Yet, her book, ranging from historical fiction to her books, not book, but books, multiple books, ranging from historical fiction to wildlife memoirs, prominently features Her Royal Highness on the cover and sell for profit. No backlash, no tabloid frenzy, no stern lecture from royal commentators or about dishonoring the Queen. Nothing. Nothing was said. Now, let me see. What do we have here? The Queen of Four Kingdoms, Princess Michael, Her Royal Highness, Princess Michael of Kent. How about A Cheetah's Tail? Her Royal Highness, Princess Michael of Kent. And of course, we all know about the Blackamoor brooch. So why is that okay? She can sell books with her HRH and wear racist brooches, but Meghan using HRH on a gift card is a scandal? The same Princess Michael who wore a racist brooch to a royal lunch Meghan attended and still enjoys the full styling and royal privilege without controversy. But Meghan signs a gift card with HRH and suddenly the headline news. The outrage isn't about protocol, it's about who's allowed to bend it. So if Princess Michael can use the HRH to move books off a shelf What exactly is the problem with Meghan using it on a gift card to a friend? Public sentiments reflect a shift in royal authority. Reactions to Meghan's card reflects ongoing divisions in how the public perceives the royal family and its rules. Right-wing media slams her for disrespecting Queen's legacy. The commentators, like Ingrid Seaweed, claim the late monarch would have felt personally offended. Y'all remember Ingrid Seaweed, don't you? The hybrid Ingrid Seaweed is what happens when an aging royal reporter and a Hanna-Barbera character mate. If you were to fuse the two of those, that's what happens. You get Ingrid. Anyway, that's what happens when you connect those two. You get this very bizarre looking creature. And by the way, that character's name is Droopy Dog. You guys, I might have to have y'all hold on while I order these pretzels. Wonder how long it'll take for them to get here. Can they get them here in about 10 minutes? Pretzel nuggets, creamy peanut butter filled, farm to bag transparency, pretzel reimagined. When my son Quinn was born, I set out on a mission to clean up my favorite childhood snacks. It took years, but the proof that anything is possible is in your hands. Trustee, regards. Oh, that's the person who came up. It's called Quinn's Creamy Peanut Butter Filled Pretzel Nuggets. Wow, I'm getting hungry now. Okay, anyway, I'll worry about that later. You know, it keeps popping up on my computer. Well, I tell you what, I better not order the 3 bags because we know what's going to happen with that one. Okay, I'll just add it to the cart and try not to think about it. What was I talking about? Let me get back over here with this one. So that is Jamie Kern Lima's book. It is called Worthy: How to Believe You Are Enough and Transform Your Life. Simple steps, life-changing results. Yeah, that is the book right there. I think I'm going to get that book. End of day harvest. If you look over there on the left, you see the little boxes with the lines through it. Those are the products, or the product that is, the boots that Meghan are wearing. They sold out. But if you look on the right side, they have what Kate is wearing in every size available. See there? Sold out versus still available in all sizes. Keep believing headlines. We will keep believing the data. Numbers don't lie. Thank you, SK. Numbers don't lie. Hello. Numbers don't lie. See there? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 sizes available for those boots that Meghan are wearing. They're all sold out. But if you go over here on the right and take a look, is it the boots or it's the jacket? Okay, the jacket. Yeah, I think it's the jacket. So you got the 6 sizes of the jacket Meghan is wearing, gone. You have 6 sizes available of the jacket that Kate is wearing. They're available from sizes 6 to 16. Barely a ripple. barely a ripple. Barely a ripple. Oh, good night, Mary H. Copy Kate. Copy Willie. They're copying off the Sussexes again, wearing their, their country manor house outfits. One couple is deeply in love, and the other couple, well, they're doing it for the press. Now, together forever, William and Kate share tender moments and touching message on their 14th wedding anniversary as the royals return to the Isle of Mull. And the Princess of Wales debuts new hair for the summer, right? They even had the Sun, they had a front page that says, Will and Kate on Love Island. Believe me, it should be Dull Island. I mean, take a look here. Royal sycophant Liz Jones went off script and wrote a whole article about how drab and dreary the Macbeths are and how secretly royalists wish they were as glam as the Sussexes. This is worth a read just for the giggles. Yes, Zandy Sussex is actually recommending an article from the Daily Mail. Now, that article is behind a paywall, and I refuse to get a membership to that paper, that rag. However, I did come across a couple of parts that Zandy wanted to share with you, like these two right here. But in February, the princess announced that details of her clothes and accessories would no longer be released through official channels. She wanted to be known as a workhorse, not a clothes horse, and it has gone downhill from there. Wintry, old-fashioned maxi coats, roll neck jumpers, and for a visit to a group of scouts in the Lake District earlier this month, a tweed bomber jacket and skinny jeans topped with a Don't Look at Me Baker Boy hat, which even the normally sycophantic Vogue called polarizing. She was doubtless comfy and warm, but hardly inspirational. They will join an early years group taking part in nature trails, den building, and animal tracking. They will also announce more community spaces in Mull, as well as funding for rangers to protect its stunning natural treasures. To which all I can ask is, seriously? Yeah, that article put Kate on blast. It put them on blast. And that wasn't even the best part of it. Let me see. Where is it at? Okay. Okay, it was a bona fide fashion milestone. Prince William's bride resembled not just a royal princess, but a Hollywood star a la Grace Kelly. She was elegant, assured, and impossibly glamorous. A standard bearer for British fashion and the women who toil in that industry. Now, if y'all remember, Kate had a dress that was somewhat a replica of Grace Kelly's wedding gown. It was pretty much a replica. It really was. It had the lace trim and everything at the top. The whole silhouette of the gown, everything was just like Grace Kelly's. That was Kate, copycat number 1. Let me see. Okay. Oh, let me see. I forget. Well, did I share that up? Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. Okay, of course, serious illness. Okay. Doesn't William look so much more statesmanlike in uniform or in a black suit he wore for Pope's funeral, that is? Nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is. I wonder what image will be released today when the Prince and Princess of Wales arrives to the Isle of Dole. I'm sorry, Mole. That's where I got that from. She called it the Isle of Dole. Let me see here. To celebrate their 14th wedding anniversary, scratchy tweed, a stiff waxed Berber jacket, sensible walking boots on their itinerary, and visits to the village hall, a community hub, and wait for it, a croft where they will help pick produce for the menu and see the sheep being farmed there. In other words, all of this is so dull. She's trying to send them the message to try to put some of the glamour back into their role. But instead, they have done everything they could to downplay who they are and to seem more relatable. Like, take for instance, right here. Kate has let slip the mask, hasn't she? And you guys, didn't I tell you all yesterday? I think something is wrong with her face. Didn't I say her face looks particularly big? And notice how she's got the hair cascading down the left side of her face? Did I not say I thought her face looks kind of big? You see what I'm saying? Now, this could just be an optical thing, but something ain't right about her mouth, about her face, her jaw. Something is not right. And it seems, and I think the smile is there to conceal it. Now, listen, she could have just had some dental work done. She might have an abscess or something like that. But it looks like the left side of her face is swollen in these photos. And as you look at the picture right there, for the most part, they stayed in character. The caption doesn't even match the photo. Indeed, the couple were in high spirits as they joined the Ardura Acorn, a local group at what is that? As they took part in outdoor learning at the Ancient Forest, which is home to a rich and diverse array of birds, mammals, and plants. You see that? When they thought nobody was looking or paying attention, and this happened. Look at Kate's face. Kate, if looks could kill, talk about a face like thunder. I don't know. I felt like, and remember I said that yesterday. I said her face looks big. It looks too big. It looks plump. It looks like, it looks distorted in some kind of way, even for Kate. And then just like somebody hit a switch, right back into character. It could just be the hairstyle, but something is going on with the left side of her face. And I'm being serious. Something is going on with the left side of her face. And then right here, when they're not, serving the cameras, that is their set point. That is who they are to each other. William looks terribly annoyed. Kate is fumbling around because she's nervous. They're both very nervous people. They're so inauthentic that when they're with people, they get very fidgety. Just like there was an article about William's body language. Kate, I wonder if you guys noticed that Kate no longer carries a purse. Kate always carried a clutch, always. But she seems to have given up carrying a clutch or a purse. She has rarely been seen in a coat dress. That's only for formal occasions like Westminster Abbey. Gone are the coat dresses. Now she's trying to look like a model from Williams-Sonoma. This little girl right here is not picking it up. She's not connecting. She's not bonding with the future queen, because that child can sense that there's something wrong with her. And look at these kids. Aren't they having the time of their lives? Now, I made the kids larger on the right side so that you can, really see what they're seeing. They cannot be bothered. And these were images that made it to the press. I didn't have to go digging for them. And this whole article about heir to the throne. Look, this is just 3 of the comments. I gave up on blonde. It made my hair so dry. I miss it though. What about Kate's hair? An exclusive article about her hair color. She wants you to focus on her work, right? Not her hair, but her work. And just Lisa says, these images of Will and Kate have gone around the world, and I actually feel embarrassed by how bland those images are. They're starting to look incredibly old-fashioned with their clothes choices, which seems oddly intentional, perhaps like politicians. Oh, I'm so sorry, I let that one get cut off. But anyway, you get the point. I don't know what the point of this was. We're going to go to the Isle of Mull. We're going to have you dress up like, like you're going to the hardware store, right? Like you're going to the Home Depot or Lowe's. Yeah, we want you to dress up like any couple going to Lowe's. Kate, I think now is the time for you to show off your blonde highlights. William, try not to sway, and we'll do this. And so they did. But one has to wonder, what is the point? There's some photos I didn't share with you where William and then Kate took turns using a nail gun. I repeat to you, they were using a nail gun. They were helping to put up some signage or something. But it was indoors, and it was like some kind of box or something. And the two of them went all the way to this island for their anniversary to show people how awkward it is for two of the laziest people on God's green earth to use a nail gun. It just does not make sense. I don't get what. Oh, you know what? Keep doing it. Never mind. Keep doing it. Let me stop. Keep doing it. Y'all on the right track. Y'all on the right track. You all are on the right track. Keep doing what you do. God bless. Keep it up. UK among worst countries for personal well-being. That was an article in the Telegraph. Well, given the sadness that you see on William's face right there, given the possibly, allegedly, medically induced smile on Kate's face, I think they're right. I think they're absolutely right. Like right here, look at the body language. Look at the body language. They're embarrassed. They don't want to be there. But someone has convinced them that taking 3 vacations since Christmas, since New Year's, you have to go out there and be more like Philip and Lizzie. And didn't they just have an article about how Kate and William have the same type of energy as Lizzie and Philip? They're paying attention to social media, and they have been called out for those vacations, and that's why they were so upset. The British tabloid media refused to report about that ski trip. They refused to report it because if it wasn't for the French press, we wouldn't even know it happened. But they were out of the country and they had no control over the press going abroad like that. They had no control over it. There's only a few places they can go outside of the country where they're safe to do whatever they want. Like they can go to the Isle of Mystique. But that's the second time they've gone over to France and had some photos leaked about them. At least this time Kate had a top on. Not that you could tell one from the other, because I'm telling you, I saw those photos. And when I saw those curvy hips and I saw that bare torso, I thought it was William. Even though it was a bikini, hell, I still thought it was William. I did. I thought it was William. I'm like, why is he wearing that bikini? Turns out it was Kate. Okay. And of course, the Gums report. Are you all ready for the Gums report? A report from Gums. Gums, 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 Gums. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gums report. Again, Meghan could have done herself a world of good by not launching a Shopify. It makes her look greedy. Okay. Now take a look on the right side. Royal Fashion News is officially on Spotify. I mean, not Spotify. My Spotify is Shop My. So Royal, blah, I messed that up. Okay, so Royal Fashion News. Now that is Gums' channel. Gums has a channel about royal fashion. She has a hate channel for Meghan. She has this Royal News Network. That's the hate channel. then she has the fashion, and then she has a positive royal channel. So she herself has a Shop My account. Technically on X too, if you want to know more about Catherine's outfits and alternatives, it's all there. So she's saying that Meghan, who actually moves the fashion industry, compared to her own, and I'm saying this is Gum's account. Gums is trying to make a couple of dollars from Kate. I can guarantee you she probably has something where she's making money off of Meghan too, other than the usual stream of income. She's probably making about $200,000 a year. She's probably making about $200,000 a year from hate. Very well organized, this one. Very well organized. Now, as part of a wider tour of nations in Africa, we have been visiting 2 locations central to Nigeria's growing role in the Invictus community, seeing progress on a new Armed Forces Invictus Center in Abuja, which broke ground earlier this year, as well as joining a local training camp hosting adaptive sports for Nigerian wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans. Delighted to have been joined by long-term supporter of Invictus, Darlene Barrett from Monster Energy. Oh, I guess that's who that lady is there. I was wondering who she was. Well, one of them. So Monster Energy is a big sponsor of this, I guess. That is really cool. Now, remember, it's hard for Harry to find sponsors because there are so many people upset about him and Meghan leaving the UK. Don't forget that the reason why Sentebale finds it difficult to raise funds is because there's so many people that are conflicted by Harry's absence from the royal family. So likewise, I'm sure the people at Monster Energy Drinks, when they find out that Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, are no longer so-called working royals, I guess they're going to say, you know what? We're out of here. We thought you were we thought you were working royals, but now that we know that you're not, we can't help you. We can't help you. Monster out. Sorry. Call us if you go back to the UK. At least that's Sophie's version of things. So yeah, anyway, the lady on the left is obviously wearing a Monster drink shirt, so I'm assuming that must be her. And of course, that is on the right, that's David, what is it, Weissman? Dave Weissman. And I don't know who the other lady is. That might be Mrs. Weissman. I don't know. But yeah, they're serious about getting this place built. They are very serious about getting this place built. Fill in the blank if you like. Go ahead. Anybody. Would you like to fill in the blank? I'll wait for it. Anyone? Would you like to fill in the blank? Come on, somebody fill in that blank. That's so bad, ain't it? Don't be afraid. It's the humane thing to do. Go ahead and fill in that blank. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Been snooping at my door. You ain't nothing but a hound. Oh, yeah. You've been wagging your tail. That's right. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. As a matter of fact, I think we are going to close with that tonight. Let me see here. But before I do that, just remember, you guys, Harry and Meghan with the royal titles, Harry and Meghan without the royal titles. Can you see the difference? It doesn't make a difference. They still are going to live in that palatial home. They still are going to have a view of the Pacific Ocean and the view of the mountains in the background, and they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Whatever they say, the Sussexes are going to be okay. So does not matter. Meghan said herself, I am just so done with the prove it game. Maybe worthlessness comes from worthiness, that is, comes from when you stop having to feel like you are in the prove it game. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Her Royal Highness Duchess of Sussex. There we go. Now, we are going to end with one of my favorite videos, something that came to me one cold night when I needed a little warmth, and I turned to humor, right? Always a good choice. So love you guys. I will see y'all next time. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how. The Duke and Duchess